It does not mean that. What it does mean is that a part of your culture needs to be recognized as well as your part of your human condition. So change in this era means that we need to work not just as people with disabilities, but as people. Plain and simple, people. Just people. And I say this to you because here's another. How many people like to go on vacation? How many of y'all like to go to the beach? I like to go to the beach, except the wheelchair only gets so far. So after that, I got to get up and walk, and I'm too lazy for that. I mean, I ask this because one of the reasons we work, one of the reasons we struggle, is so that we can play. We play. The reason we work is so that we can have. And if you are in a group where it is 60% unemployment, then we don't have. If you get SSI, do you know what the annual income of a person on SSI is? Anybody take a guess?
12,000.
It's about time that you know what? If you okay, let's pretend everybody in this room is on SSI getting $1,000 a month, right? That sound like a nice little chunk of change, right? Up until you gotta eat, and then you gotta pay your rent. Oh yeah, you want to wash your clothes so you don't smell bad. Oh yeah, you want to have some food and you want to play. If you think about it, the federal poverty level is $16,000 a year. So if you're a person with a disability and you're getting maximum $1,000 a year, $1,000 a month, you are $4,000 below the poverty level. That is nothing we should ever strive for. We should never strive to be less than. We should strive to be more than. More than. More than. So when you put this in context about why do we do these conferences, why do we gather ourselves together to reinforce and to reinvigorate and to remind ourselves of what this work is? The work is hard. The work is nobody likes this work. Nobody gets doused with billions and billions of dollars. Nobody turns into Bernie Madoff. Although I have a really good scheme that I'm going to teach you all later. It just costs you $50 to learn it. So come see me in the room and I'll say it. But we talk about these things in context. We talk about these things. And how many people in this room voted? Okay? You have to understand that voting is your power. And even when the person wins and you get elected and you walk into the office and they go, oh, I didn't know you knew I was here. I'm like, I didn't know your ass was here either. But you ain't doing nothing. Now, if you do something, maybe I like it. But a politician needs to understand that public policy is for public, which means that people with disabilities are included in that discussion. Change does not come easy. Change comes hard. Change also comes from us realizing where our strengths are and where our weaknesses are. We need to, as people with disabilities, work across all ages, all disability groups, all cultures, all races. We can no longer just be this block screaming for us. We need to scream not only for us, but for everybody else. Because if you have children, you want your children to grow up in a society where everybody is accepted not for what they look like, but for who they are. You want to be accepted not for what you can, not how much money you have in your pocket, but what kind of talent you have to offer to the greater good. People with disabilities, we have done so many things in this world that nobody will ever know because we have not raised the discussion. When I asked the people at AARP, do you have a disability platform? They looked at me and said, you know, we never thought about it like that. I'm like, wait a minute. AARP? Y'all ain't never thought about disability? Your old ass, you ain't never thought about it. You ain't never thought about it. Well, what if I take your miracle here? I bet you wish you had AS numbers from the education is, isn't it? Okay, if I take your questions, I bet you have a rant, don't you? So why are we not talking across civil libertarian groups, particularly in California, particularly with the political climate you guys are, particularly with the controversy around gay marriage, particularly because if one group can get isolated, it is not this far-fetched for another group to get isolated. If you talk about gay and lesbian rights issues, and then you mention disability, they have no clue. Because you know people with disabilities, we don't like sex at all. Well, that's what they told me. I mean, you know, because when you think about it, they say, oh my God, he has a girlfriend. Oh, that's so sweet. He found somebody. I know I found a couple somebody. Let's keep it real here. But again, we have to be honest with ourselves when having these discussions. Because in order to be fully inclusive, that means you have the right to love who you want to love. Marry who you want to marry. Be with who you want to be with. And live how you want to live. That is ultimately what every American citizen is entitled to. And it does not stop simply because you have a disability. So in the era of change, talk about it in terms of the whole person, not the diagnosis, not the condition, not the accessibility. Talk about it in terms of what is it do you need for your life in order for you to give back